We are here in one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen.
Littlefoot's home.
The home of Littlefoot from the land before time, almost surely, because this is the Dinosaur National Monument. And apparently up here is some petroglyphs, so we're gonna go check that out. It looks like it's got, well, I don't know what that is. More settled life. Oh shit, here we go. They look like people with like horns and stuff. Demons.
It's pretty neat. What do you think they were
These were
trying to
drawn 7,000 years ago. If I had to guess, self-portraits.
Probably.
Trying to keep track of a big family or tribe.
The Fremont people.
Well, stay right where you are.
This place is neat. I am really curious. Wow. Anyway, I don't want to be down here. Cool.
So here we are in one of the most gorgeous
Whoa,
places
hang
I've
on.
ever
A
seen.
Chew owned this property? Get it? Get it? See, his name's Douglas Chew.
Douglas Chew purchased it in 1940.
The ranch across the river, so that ranch over there, that ranch across the river, is one of the oldest in the area, established when ranchers and farmers first settled this rugged country. In the late 1880s, Aaron Daniels started a cattle ranch on the banks of the Green River and used water from Cub Creek to irrigate his alfalfa and corn crops. This ranch came to be considered one of the best in the Uinta Basin. Douglas Chew purchased the property in 1941. Chew was no stranger to ranching in the Dinosaur area. He had grown up on a ranch in Pool Creek Canyon, near where the Green and Yampa rivers meet. His parents, Jack and Mary Chew, established the Pool Creek Ranch in 1910. Today, the ranch across the river is owned and run by the descendants of Douglas Chew. They raise cattle and sheep. Water from the Cub Creek and the Green River continues to irrigate the land, just as it did for Aaron Daniels. The ranch is outside the boundary of Dinosaur National Monument on private property. It is not open to the public. So where does the monument end?
I think it's just surrounds that completely, possibly. Oh shit, no. Extra paper. I don't know why they did that. It's hard to tell because the moon is so bright that it looks almost full. but it's a perfect half moon. We've been watching it wax over the last few nights, and seemingly as we travel east, it's like, I don't know if that affects the way the moon looks, but it seems like it has been dramatically waxing night after night. It was almost a new moon. It was just a sliver of a moon when we were leaving California. So yeah, we've got a very bright moon above our campsite here in Dinosaur Valley. Tasting the forbidden fruit of flash. We are currently grilling some chicken out here, and I'm guessing that's broccoli from the snow. Birds reading Grant, making progress. Well, some progress. And we got the flashlight over the bottle. I got bit by a couple of skeeters the minute we got here, so I sprayed myself heavily with bug spray right afterwards. My legs are in shambles from all the hiking, and we're probably going to do some more of that tomorrow, because this is the most gorgeous place ever. I mean, from our campsite you can mostly just see this particular mountain, which I'm a huge fan of. I believe it's either the Sideways Mountain or the Broken Mountain. There's various named mountains around here. I haven't really memorized or learned much about this place yet, in the way that I had. Like, when we got to Bryce Canyon, when we'd gotten to Bryce, there was like so much informational stuff that they gave us right off the bat that I just started like learning everything about the park, so that by the time we actually started hiking it, I like at the very least knew all the trails and like where they were relative to each other. It took me a while to figure out that we were actually on top of the canyon and not below it, and then it all made sense to me. But here, I didn't have much information about this place yet. It's not technically a national park, but a national monument. When we came in, there was no one at the, like, there was no one at the front.
There was no one at the front guard post. It was like 6 o'clock, so they probably clock out at 5.
And there was a...
I waved my parks pass by the security camera, though, just to be sure.
Yeah, he waved his parks pass just to make sure. I mean, I assume somebody will come talk to us eventually and be like, hey, who are you? Do you belong here? You know, like, if they...
So.
You don't think so? Well, we found it on the way in. There was a brochure bucket. It was like, put $1 in this...
Tour.
Yeah, auto tour.
Get an auto tour.
Put $1 in, get an auto tour, and it wasn't like it's pure honor system. Of course, we put $1 in, but yes,
it was my $1.
So we got the drive-up pamphlet, and it was pretty cool. I mean, actually, let me go grab that. So the drive-in to the park was through that valley that I was describing as the land before time in the previous clip, and it was unimaginably gorgeous. What are you trying to get?
Light. I need you to hold the light.
Oh, this actually works for the camera too. Weird. So we're going through this unbelievable valley that looks like the land before time. It's giving me all this nostalgia, because the whole way up here I'm thinking about dinosaurs, and like if they actually have dinosaur fossils here, I'm gonna flip my lid, because I've never gotten to see wild dinosaur fossils. When I was a
dinosaur fossils, running out, living their wild dinosaur fossil life.
When I was a kid, I was huge into dinosaurs from like age 6 to 7, and we went to the Smithsonian one time, and I was expecting to just see like nothing but dinosaurs. Stop blocking the fire. Fire looks cool. All I see is your belly. There we go. Yes, that's good. That's JoJo pose in the background for me. anyways, we drive up through that valley, and you can see this mountain that's here on the cover of this brochure, which is also the one that you can see. I'm just going to flip the camera around. It's literally right there. I mean, you can barely see it anymore because it's gotten dark. So yeah, they have the brochures at the start of the road trail, and we're already like blown away just by how gorgeous the place is right off the bat. Bird's like, this is probably going to be my favorite national place of all of them, because he's just like stunned by the scale of the valley.
It's just huge.
There's a lot of wide open space in America, but like this is just such a fertile, like it
is such a fertile national park that the national monument, that the national monument curves around a ranch that is actually right across from our campsite called the Chew Ranch, I believe.
Yeah.
That's been around under the Chews since I think the 1940s, but before then, like since the 1800s. It's crazy. This is a very good place to be. And there's dinosaurs here, apparently.
It looks like the place where they grazed.
It's just awesome.
I guess what I would say is it's a big enough valley to support the existence of like Brontosaurus stomping through, eating everything. Although there weren't really a lot of trees, so I guess it would probably be smaller dinosaurs. It probably wouldn't be super tall guys out here.
There might also have been a different,
That's true. It could have been a completely different landscape, yeah. I don't know why I would even assume that it was anything similar. But
why doesn't it look like it looked like 65 million years ago?
Yeah, before the Ice Age. So, I'm looking through the tour of the Tilted Rocks, and the very first stop on the way is the cave etchings. So we were like, okay. Yeah, the petroglyphs were awesome. So, which we had... there was somewhere that we passed on our way up to the first national park that had advertised like having ridiculous amounts of petroglyphs.
On the way to Zion, you mean?
Yeah, on the way to Zion.
I believe that, yeah.
I think it was in Utah, probably, maybe Nevada, but it was a place that was like, we have 40,000 petroglyphs. And I was like, I'd like to see some petroglyphs. I don't know if I need to see 40,000 of them, but I'd be interested. So the fact that we incidentally just stumbled upon
25 of them, however many were there.
Yeah, it was like a drawing of a whole family or something, or a tribe. There's a big old trail, the Sound of Silence trail, that looks pretty exciting.
Hello,
it also connects to the Desert Voices Trail. I think that's what it's called. And that connects to the Split Mountain Campground, which has a trail that connects to this campground from the river trail. So we could literally hike like all the way back up through everything we went through, or drive around down past Chew Ranch and the part. So you see here, see where it says Chew Ranch? That part is not part of the national thing because it's just a ranch that somebody's been maintaining for like 100 years.
CHEW.
But all around it, all the green area, is the park itself. So we are down here by Chew Ranch. We could hike all the way back up where we came, and alternately drive over here and hike these trails where it says there's more petroglyphs. And the Box Canyon Trail. These look pretty short though, so it might be possible to do all of that tomorrow. We've had a day without hiking. We rested in a car for 6.5 hours on the drive, which was just a heart-stoppingly gorgeous drive. I don't think it was dull for a second.
So what we did was, it's the Utah, I believe, 6 east onto the 191 east. I could be wrong, but it's the 6 and the 191 for sure. And we drove through some mountain range. The whole highway is just driving through a mountain range with just on the side of the road every, I don't know, like half a mile, quarter of a mile, a bunch of oil, I don't know what they're called, but those like, they go down and then they come back up. They're for oil. I know that.
Yeah.
And they're just everywhere. There's open range cattle. The mountains are like white with all this speckled trees and bushes on them. So it's like white and green mountains. It's really pretty, and the highway just curves through it and all around it, following the river.
We saw an epic power plant. We saw a couple of towns I would like to live in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some little cute small towns. And I bought this road atlas back at Bryce that I became obsessed with immediately. It was just like wanting to try to find where all the national places are, where all the places you can camp are, because really, like, if your goal is to camp all over the place, you know, that's every single place that you can camp is like demarked on this map. Probably not every single place, because even as insanely detailed as this road atlas is, there were still towns that are small enough that they did not bother listing them on the map, which is crazy. Because some of the ones it does list have less than 500 people in them. But yeah, there was some really cute places and some real amazing vistas. I'm sure I've put some pictures in here. This is the most delicious looking meal that I've ever seen, prepped on the floor of a tent. We moved in here because we had the light on top of the water jug, and mosquitoes just started en masse flocking to it. And no matter how many times we raided them with cutter, they wouldn't leave it alone. So we were like, "Get the chicken out of there." How you feel?
I don't know. Fine.
I haven't tried it yet. Yes. Wow. I'd almost forgotten the taste of chicken. It's good. So the first time, a swarm came to the front, and we blasted them with cutters. So most of these are dead. But now swarms are just coming to all sides. I mean, every time we turn the light on and put it on here, another swarm comes. So, you know. For the last 4 days that we've been living alternately out of a tent or a Prius, we have not had a hairbrush. We've been hiking all over the place. We've been in high elevation, windy parts of Utah. Bird's asleep right now still in the tent, which is why I'm talking so quietly. So in all that traveling, we didn't remember to buy a hairbrush initially. And so the first couple days, I was trying to just kind of use my fingers to fix up my hair. But it got to a point where I just gave up. Put it in a second band, thinking I'm probably just going to cut it off, because there's been a few times in my past where my hair got tangled to a point of the inability to do anything about it, and I just went, and it looked pretty good, just being like, you know, chin length hair. I think it would look really cool blue too, especially once the roots come in more. If it was like half dark, half light blue, I think that would look sick. But Bird seemed really unenthusiastic about the idea of me just cutting my hair like that. He likes the long hair, so I'm gonna give it a shot. We did buy a hairbrush. This is Bird's hair from being brushed already. Let's see if we can do this, and if we can't, I'm going to give up and just hack it off. Also, it's raining a little right now, so if this clip ends, it's because of the rain. All right, feeling pretty good. Not only did I manage to get my hair brushed, but because this place actually has an individual locking bathroom, I took the opportunity to shave. Cut myself a little bit because I'm pretty much out of good razors. Oh no, I'm starting to feel like I got a unibrow. Oh, actually that's just my skin being fucky. It's not hair. Well, I'm feeling good about the outfit. Ready to go.
Spring. These striking blooms caught the eyes of paleontologists Earl Douglas and O.A. Peterson in 1912. Along with tons of dinosaur fossils, they collected a few plant specimens for the Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Decades later, botanist Rupert C. Barnaby formally described the plant.
Not in bloom.
Hello.
How you feel about the split?
I like it a lot. Oh, these must be the Split Mountain campgrounds. This is a pretty cool campground, too. Yeah. There's someplace to stay.
Yeah, if this is the Split Mountain campground, we gotta do this one.
Yeah.
This is definitely the cooler campground.
No kidding.
It's in the mountain. Look at that split. We gotta get over there so we can see more into this, more of this river, the Green River. Definitely earns its name as a green-ass river. Not that rivers aren't often green. This river.
Dangerous seas. Before dinosaurs roamed the earth, a shark-like predator known as Helicoprion prowled the shallow sea that covered this area 270 million years ago. A single whorl of teeth in the center of its lower jaw allowed that word, to slice through the water and attack prey head-on. New sharp teeth eventually rotated into place as the predator grew older. While some may see Helicoprion as we're gonna retake that line. While some may see Helicoprion as a bizarre evolutionary anomaly, they were a top predator of their environment for nearly 10 million years. Today, all that remains of Helicoprion's ocean are red and yellow bands of sediment known as the Park City Formation. This rock layer, visible across the Green River at the base of the Split Mountain, marks the end of the Paleozoic era and the beginning of the Mesozoic era. Helicoprion's demise during the Permian extinction 252 million years ago, along with 70 to 90% of all life at the time, may be viewed as a tragedy. Yet other life, including dinosaurs, found an opportunity to eventually fill the voids. So this is, wow. Look, here's the ocean.
Void.
This is where the ocean was, and this is where they hung out.
Oh, shit. So it could have been a seaside overlook.
Yeah. 23 different rock layers record the story of change in this area's life and landscapes through the time. The Dinosaur Quarry Exhibit Hall is in the Morrison Formation. We are in the Park City Formation. Split Mountain is Weber Sandstone. And the Gates of Lodore is the Uinta Mountains.
Incredible.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, let's get further into this mountain. Actually, yeah, this is the last notable spot. We're going up the Fossil Discovery Trail here at Dinosaur National Park. Supposedly along this wall, there are some dinosaur bones still embedded. It should be indicated by white arrows, or at least the bigger ones.
I've not seen a white arrow. It's neat though. And stuff that looks like it might be a fossil.
Well, at least it's a hell of a view up here. Viewers at home, let me know if you see any white arrows or fossils in this footage. this looks like a fossil. Says that there's some sea fish type fossils, some clams and stuff down there, but we're just more curious about what they got in the actual museum up there. We're gonna hike our way up to. This is literally a side of a mountain that is just covered in a smattering of dinosaur bones. Where they excavated tons of dinosaurs. Identify.
It's touchable. I'm really getting my money's worth.
Yeah, sure do love to touch that bone.
It's bird. I am a stegosaurus.
Oh my god. I gotta say, the fact that this is Site 69 would have been tempting enough. But the fact that it's also easily the most secluded, unique camp spot that we've had yet. Massive, massive advantage. How do you feel about Camp Spot 69?
Nice.
We got our tent all the way over here, tucked into this little brush. For once, like, we're not really in earshot of anybody. Not that that has to stay true necessarily. There's a lot right over there, but they wouldn't be able to see us or anything. Like, everywhere else we've been, it's like, you know, you're right on your neighbors. You're kind of talking low, not trying to, you know, make a scene or whatever. But here, it's all good. Do what you need to do. Drink some beers.
Here's something fun.
Smoke some pots.
So, Zachary Taylor was a general in the Mexican-American War and eventually our president. And Zachary Taylor was president for about 2 years, and then he died because he, quote, consumed an enormous quantity of possibly tainted cherries and iced milk and died mysteriously 5 days later.
What the fuck? Tainted cherries and milk?
I have no idea. I would love to learn more about that. I actually did a report on Zachary Taylor in elementary school.
I didn't even realize we had a president named Zachary Taylor.
That's why I did a report on him. Here.
What, is this cooked?
No.
Oh.
You have to cook it.
Oh, I'm gonna cook it. Oh, you got all the peppers and onions down there on that fire. No, do not. I can go get that.
Thank you.
But you have to hold the hot dog. Sausage.
Bratwurst.
Beef brat. This is gonna go. Half the park is after dark. That's a Zion Angel's Landing one. Not from the trip that we took, but from the trip that he had already taken before. So, at the last campsite back in Bryce Canyon, we had a couple beside us in a tent, a smaller tent, that we did not see the whole, like, we showed up to the second campsite that we did at Bryce midday, and they were not there. And at nighttime, they came back late enough that we never saw them. they woke up super early the next day. And because I got up early enough, I finally spotted them. And eventually, Bird did too. And we realized that it was a pair of really cute lesbians. And they gave us like a bunch of shit that they had. Here we go. Stone ground mustard. They gave us some stone ground mustard and tortillas and a Tupperware and this box. And it was a big help in reorganizing the car because we had a bunch of shit just laying around. You know, or otherwise in my Hoka box, which did not hold up. But yeah, so thank you to those girls who were out there camping. If you somehow end up seeing this video, it just so happens I'm writing a book right now called Good People that's about a bunch of lesbians who have a podcast and go hiking out in the Ozarks. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, see if I've published it yet. We've been consistently making gin mixed with ginger limeade across this trip. We just got these cool cups. I got this silicone Dinosaur National Monument, Utah to Colorado.
I got a cooler cup made out of tin or aluminum, but it has petroglyphs, a dinosaur, a mountain, a bird, a fish.
Oh, that's why you chose it, because it has everything on it. Mine is just because I really like the actual, just like, I would, even if it didn't have the dinosaur on it, I would be excited about this cup. So, you know, it's a cup I would want to have. Look at this place. Look at that. Oh my God. Hello.
There's a bench over here.
I definitely didn't just get so distracted that I walked into a tree. Not me.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something you'd do. The other picture was better. That's cool. All right, next one.